You a winner or a loser?
You're making a big mistake.
You've been lied to about how the mob works. Because if murder was really mandatory, Bobby Bacala would have never worn a pinky ring.
Any money should go to Bobby Bacala's kids.
Why was Bobby Bacala even made?
Yeah, your old man was the fucking Terminator.
Was it sheer nepotism, the sacred right of succession, because his father happened to be the Terminator? Or did someone in the DeMeo family genuinely see value in a man who, for much of his run,
Bacala's always been a lazy bastard.
seemed to embody wise guy mediocrity better than anyone alive? Consider the resume. Bobby's early career is virtually a blank page. His flashes of mob activity are so rare they can be counted on one hand.
You want to know when?
Huffing and puffing while helping Junior's crew rough up protesters at a construction site, and intimidating a union rep in a bar. After that, nothing. In fact, the man didn't make his first kill until late in the game, when he finally clipped the Canadian. By mob standards, that's like getting your driver's license at 40. His physical presence hardly improved the picture. Fatter than Vito in Vito's prime,
What the fuck is Bacala? He's supposed to be doing this shit for you.
Bobby was essentially Junior's full-time caretaker, a humiliating assignment for a made guy. He didn't choose the role, true,
Well, this one, he drives like a little old lady.
but the image of a supposed soldier chauffeuring a half-senile capo to doctor's appointments hardly screams rising star. He lacked a visible cash flow, had no notable rackets, and inspired little respect from anyone in the family. And who could forget the infamous moment when he was robbed by kids and dissolved into tears? Hardly the sort of performance that inspires underworld confidence.
Which means it goes to Bobby now that Junior's out of the picture.
So why was Bobby elevated at all? The easy answer is nepotism.
You got old man Bacala making a comeback.
He was a mafia nepo baby, the son of a Terminator who had spilled enough blood to cover his offspring in protective amniotic fluid. In the mob, family connections don't just matter. They are the rule book. Complaining about nepotism in an organization literally called the family is like complaining about corruption in politics. It's not a flaw, it's the feature.
I should have kicked his ass.
Yeah, and what did you do?
But Bobby's rise wasn't solely bloodline. He had two qualities the DeMeo family, in its twilight years, desperately needed: reliability and restraint. He wasn't a hothead testosterone junkie like Ralphie or Richie. He didn't constantly stir trouble or pick fights.
Took it to Karen's grave. I buried it.
He didn't cheat on his wife, didn't betray his capo, and didn't flap his gums. He showed up, did the work, and didn't make waves. In a mob increasingly populated by psychos, rats, and narcissists, there was a kind of dull brilliance in his mediocrity. Besides, making bones was never as rigid a requirement as mob mythology insists. Yes, it looks cleaner in a movie script when the ceremony is reserved only for stone-cold killers, but history shows otherwise. Donnie Brasco was about to be made without pulling a trigger.
Yeah, as a captain, I was given an order, was told what to do, I did it.
But you would personally kill me.
No, I didn't say that.
Michael Franzese, the YouTube-friendly Columbo underboss's son, claims he was made without ever killing anyone. Of course, Franzese's carefully coy answers, "If I was asked to do something, I did it," are theater, designed for clicks and plausible deniability. Still, the point stands. Sometimes making money, being useful, or being connected is enough. Murder is optional.
Go down by the cellar door. See if Murph left the envelope under the flagstone.
And Bobby was useful, if not glamorous. He was competent at making collections, ensured Junior's envelopes kept flowing, and acted as steady muscle when needed. He wasn't a dazzling earner. Tony once mocked his light envelopes and humiliated him by ordering a pointless stunt with a rapper. But he was consistent.
Fucking Mikey Palmisi does their hits.
And his glasses, you.
Junior, aging and paranoid, needed soldiers who wouldn't embarrass him or flip. Bobby, Mikey Palmisi, and Chucky Signor filled that role. loyal foot soldiers to keep the machinery moving while their elders held court at Satriales. His trajectory only makes sense when viewed in context.
What's the situation on the ground today?
The mafia of the late 20th century was not the blood-soaked empire of earlier decades.
Used to be a guy got pinched, he took his prison jolt no matter what.
By the 1990s, the organization was losing influence. The rules had softened, and the commission was less concerned with blood oaths than with revenue streams and family legacies. The Brasco debacle had made the murder requirement more about proving you weren't FBI than proving you were ruthless. By the time Bobby came along, a man could be made for being useful, connected, or frankly not insane.
Is that Bobby Bacala? See over there?
In Bobby's case, lineage sealed the deal. His father's reputation meant his induction was a matter of preserving territory within the family. The DeMeos couldn't risk another crew scooping up the Bacala name, so Bobby was brought in, however unimpressive he appeared. From there, his docility became an asset. He respected power struggles,
We told that fat fuck Bacala.
absorbed verbal abuse without retaliation, and stayed loyal even when disrespected.
Plus Silvio Dante, and we think Bobby Bacala.
Over time, as Junior declined and Tony looked for stability in a sea of psychos, Bobby's very blandness made him indispensable. By the final season, he was no longer a punchline, but Tony's trusted confidant, brother-in-law, and eventual underboss. In fact, Bobby embodied the strong, silent type Tony often romanticized, though with emphasis on the silent. For most of his tenure, he was passive, meek, and often inept. But when pressed, he revealed a quiet toughness.
We'll get to a draw. We're working very hard.
His intimidation of witnesses, his calm threats at the bar, his shocking victory in the cabin brawl with Tony. By then, he had grown into the role the show had been grooming him for. Was his rise unrealistic? Perhaps.
Now come to think of it, you never popped your cherry in that regard.
The idea that a man could be made without ever earning it in blood rubs against the mob's romanticized mythology. Yet the mob, like any decaying institution, has always bent its own rules when convenient. Nepotism, reliability, and a capacity to keep one's mouth shut were enough to secure Bobby's button.
Not Italian if you don't like artichokes.
He may not have been a star earner, a feared killer, or a natural leader, but he was Italian, connected, and trustworthy. In a family plagued by egos and betrayals, that was enough. By the end, Bobby Bacala had transformed from comic relief into a figure of understated menace and quiet competence.
I was thinking maybe you should work that.
His journey was less about individual brilliance than about the strange alchemy of mob politics. A mix of bloodline, timing, and the sheer luck of not being a complete lunatic. In the DeMeo family, mediocrity, if wrapped in loyalty, was not just tolerated, it was rewarded.
Suppose you got a little choo-choo train at home, huh?
And so Bobby, the weeping giant with a taste for model trains, rose higher than anyone expected. Nepotism may have opened the door, but dull reliability kept him in the room. For a mob family facing extinction, that was good enough. Nepotism works for the mob. For this channel, it's your click. Subscribe.